It's only been a few days since we were last at the Reed Park Street Circuit, but there's been plenty going on in the world of supercars. This is your preview for the WD-40 Townsville SuperSprint. Obviously, in between the two rounds, there's been an awful lot going on in relation to COVID-19. A lot of border restrictions coming into effect, which have some implications for the 2021 Repco Supercars Championship. The main one that we have had happen in between rounds is that the Sydney SuperSprint at Sydney Motorsport Park has been postponed. So that's left a rather large void in the calendar that we don't know quite yet is going to be filled. There are several options on the table for supercars, namely QR is being touted as one of those. Phillip Island even is an opportunity, or maybe even Winton, but unfortunately, Anastasia Palaszczuk just declared that Victoria is a hotspot, so we're not really sure what's going to happen yet. It sounds like supercars are trying to act quick. We might have a decision by the end of this weekend, but who knows? The Victorian teams have had to deal with an awful lot over the last sort of 12 months, being on the road for 100 days plus. So whether or not the teams want to continue on the road, who knows? It's already been an extra week in Townsville that a lot of the teams weren't expecting. One thing that has changed for this weekend is the start time for race 17 of the championship here at Townsville. That's going to start at about 4:45 in the afternoon, meaning we're going to finish around 6 o'clock. So a twilight finish for the Supercars Championship, much like the first race of last weekend's Townsville 500. A lot can happen in just 5 days between the events, including a couple of changes up and down the pit lane. One of them, namely, is for Cameron Waters, who's had an engineer change. Sam Potter is out and Nathaniel Osborne comes in as his engineer. Nathaniel usually has more of an overarching sort of gig at Tickford, but he's taking on the role of engineer this weekend alongside Waters. Speaking of Waters, he had some comments in the lead up to this event talking about the gap to the leading pair at the front being Jamie Whincup and Shane van Gisbergen, and he said the margin in the first race of the Townsville 500 was a little bit unheard of. I think the margin was the best part of 20 seconds between first and third, so we'll have to see whether the Tickford guys can fight back. DJR were right up the front there with 888 for the lion's share of the weekend, but couldn't quite get that win. So it is 888 who have a bit of a stranglehold on the Repco Supercars Championship at the moment, with Shane van Gisbergen leading his teammate at the moment. As you can see behind us, Todd Hazelwood has a new livery here this weekend. I've got tools.com on the number 14 BJR Holden ZB Commodore. BJR have a habit of having livery changes every once in a while with their rolling roster of sponsors throughout the season. All the coverage of the WD-40 Townsville SuperSprint will be on Fox Sports and KO this weekend, but if you can't catch it at the track or online or on from the Itali, head over to speedcafe.com for the Castrol live updates. And make sure you check out the R&J Batteries guide for the full schedule.